I'm Pastor Penny Hogan, and I'm standing in front of Oasis, a haven for women and children in Paterson, a city that has been hit extremely hard by the pandemic. Oasis is one of 4 mission partners in Paterson that we are raising money for this Advent. The mission of Oasis is straightforward: to help women and children rise out of poverty. Jennifer Brady, the executive director of Oasis, who is with me today, often says, if we can change the life of a mother, we can change the life of the whole family. Jen, we're so glad to be here today and to learn more about Oasis and the families that you serve. Can you tell us exactly how you help women and children rise out of poverty?
Sure. So our mission has long been to help women and children rise out of poverty through education. So a woman can come to us to get her high school degree. She can learn English as a second language, prepare for the workforce, and become a U.S. citizen. And the children, of course, come to us every day after school for help with their education as well. And they're in a classroom with certified teachers. But what sets Oasis apart is really we provide these programs in a holistic manner. So we provide free childcare for women who could never afford to put their babies in childcare on their own. We provide food, clothing, and our soup kitchen, of course, serves on average 150 meals a day. Importantly, we have 3 social workers full-time on staff so that they can help the women and their families address all the challenges that are implicit in living in poverty, whether that be housing or mental health or issues with the education system or immigration. Whatever a woman brings to us, we will help her navigate through.
That's amazing. How has COVID-19 impacted the work that you do here?
It's impacted us so much, mostly because those with the least suffer the most in a pandemic like COVID-19. Initially, it impacted our work where we had to pivot absolutely 100% and provide nothing but food to this community. When I said we normally serve 150 meals a day, at the height of the pandemic, we were serving 1,900 meals a day out of our little soup kitchen with all of us, including me, stirring the stew and then serving meals. But as we moved forward and into the fall, we've reopened, and that brought its own challenges. So our classes are now hybrid classes where some people are learning from home and some people are actually in the building right now taking classes. And that has meant kind of a relearning of the way that we deliver programming. It's meant our staff has had to be really flexible, and we've had to navigate along the way. But Oasis was really built for this. Because we're not government funded, we can pivot really quickly, and we have always built our programs to be responsive to the needs. We could have never imagined the needs would be what they are today, but we're answering them.
Boy, that's really great to hear. Where have you found, or where do you see hope in this challenging time?
We've really found hope in the level of support that we've been getting from places like Westside Presbyterian Church and others. You know, like I said, we are not government funded, and without being able to hold our normal calendar of fundraising events that bring in about 1/3 of our operating revenue every day, it's been individuals and organizations and houses of worship that have kept our doors open. And that's really been miraculous.
What is your greatest need right now as you think about all the programs that you are providing, how you've had to pivot during COVID? What might the greatest need be?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it, you know how we say faith, family, and friends? This is gonna be funding, food, and faith. So funding is always our number 1 need, of course. Food, because today we are still putting out 300 to 400 meals a day, and we are giving out about 100 bags of groceries every day. So we've gone from 9 or 10 a day to about 100 a day. The need in this community is just growing and growing, and it will be a very long recovery for the folks that we serve here. And faith, we need your prayers. We need our prayers. This has been more challenging than we could have ever imagined.
Well, we are so thankful for your time today to help us understand a little bit more about the community you serve and the challenges that you're facing. Is there anything else that you would like our congregation to know?
Yeah, you know, we really have seen miracles happen here over the past 8 months. And we see God in the face of the women and children that come here every day and turn to us for hope and for help. But to end on a really positive note, prior to COVID-19, we had started planning for a construction project to expand our physical facility. And as we speak now, those plans are well underway. The scaffolding will be going up next week. And by the time this pandemic is over, we hope to double our space here and really be able to welcome everyone in the Paterson community who needs help.
Well, that's really great news. It's nice to see a glimmer of hope in the midst of so much struggle and challenge. We're going to take a few minutes and go inside to Oasis and see how it has changed since the pandemic began.
So I'm going to take you into our nurturing center. So normally this would be where we would have 20 or 30 babies, some staff and lots of volunteers, and the babies are here while their moms are upstairs taking classes. But since we can't have the babies in our building, we've got temporarily repurposed this room as our food pantry. So every day we're packing dozens and dozens of food bags for women to take home so that their families can have food on their tables at night. So now we're in the Oasis soup kitchen. Normally we serve breakfast and lunch in this space, and we can seat up to 128 women and children. But due to the no dining restriction, all of our meals are grab and go. And we're now using this space as basically a food warehouse where we're purchasing pallets of food that we are now bagging up into bags of groceries that last a family of 4, 2 to 3 days. So this is one of Oasis's 8 classrooms. When the pandemic hit, we found ourselves having to help families with so much more than food. We had to help families acquire laptops and Chromebooks and tablets. We had to help them with Wi-Fi because they didn't have Wi-Fi in their households and they didn't know how to log on to Google Classroom. Many families didn't even know how to log on to the computer to help their children do that. So we had families coming to us to learn how to adapt to Wi-Fi, to learn how to log on to their children's Google Classroom, to learn how to tackle this new virtual learning world that they found themselves on when Paterson did go to virtual learning this past September. The children have never gone back to school so far, but the children are coming to Oasis every afternoon for after-school programming, just like they would normally do. And they're in a classroom with a teacher, so they are getting that one-on-one instruction that they so critically need. And importantly, they're getting help from our social workers here, where we're uncovering layers and layers of issues that have been happening over these past 8 months that have gone unaddressed to date. But the kids are really happy to be here, and we're really happy to have them back.
As you can see, the pandemic has really taken its toll on the women and children that Oasis serves. I hope you'll join me in donating to our Advent campaign, where we seek to raise $50,000 for our neighbors here in Paterson. Whatever you're able to give and however you are able to give, we thank you for your generosity.